Welcome to the Sexy Freedom Media Podcast, a place to discuss pain, passion, and pursuits.
I want to feel alive.
Breathe.
Make some moves.
Protect the throne. This is Sexy Freedom Media Podcast.
Welcome to the Sexy Freedom Media Podcast. It's your host, Helen Edwards, and
January Liddell. Aloha.
Happy holidays, everybody. It's actually smack dab right in the front of December. I was about to say the afternoon of December, but then I realized today is actually December 1st.
Yes, December 1st. And it is, I don't know about where you are at, but it's rainy and cold. It's just a really perfect December day because it makes me feel like the holidays are here.
Yeah, it's exciting. And we had a subject we were actually going to speak on, but I think we're going to save that for maybe our next time we have just a duo podcast recording, because right now we're so busy. And I think that's something we wanted to share with all of our listeners out there about how we get it. We get that it's a busy time, but being two strong, empowered, and inspired women who are big time go-getters, how do we tend to meet our goals or achieve what we want in the middle of the holidays? Like January, how do you do it?
Such a great question. Okay, so let me share with you what is going on in my life so you understand the busyness of what's going on. Every weekend since 2 weeks ago, we have had activities on Saturday and Sunday for the children, and we are fully booked for the rest of the month. We're now filling in like Sundays now because Saturdays are gone. Every single moment there is something, including Fridays. So today we have a nativity event that we're going to. Then of course, holiday parties. And I'm sure everyone has a laundry list of things that they're doing, including shopping for Christmas, right? So how do I do it? I take breaks. I need to take a break. In fact, today, as I was walking my daughter to school, we have 3 questions that we talk about every day. What are you thankful for? What would make today great? And daily affirmations, which is I am. And I told my daughter, what would make today great is if I just be, just be. Every day I'm inspired to do work. Every day I'm inspired to learn because there's so much to learn and there's so much to do. But I'm realizing that just being is very important because we can get so overwhelmed with our laundry list that we forget to just be. And it's okay. I give myself permission to just be. So what did I do? I turned on my Apple TV and I turned on Heartbreaker by Mariah Carey, and I was dancing my heart out and singing all by myself. And that gave me joy. That gave me a moment of break and just like disruption, right? So I'm interrupting my flow of the day and I'm giving myself grace to just be. How about you, Helen? What do you do?
Oh yeah, I definitely can feel that, the whole just be. My just bees are same, throwing on some music and dancing like I did this morning, and Netflix. I'm kind of a Netflix snob. I like watch all the new movies, and then I go into my Netflix Facebook group called Netflix Recommendations, and I'm recommending movies. So, I always say sometimes, oh, I'm so overwhelmed during this time. There's so much going on, but actually there's not a lot going on that can't be prioritized. So I just say to myself, you know what? It's a fun time. Have fun. Because the part that gets stressful is when we're taking everything way too serious and we're starting to look at the idea of giving or showing up as an obligation instead of a fun activity that's meant to bring people together. So I do my best to remind myself of that. And then I think of my goals. And I'm not the type of person to put my goals on the back burner. However, I can tell I'm getting behind on them. And then I go back to square one. Like, what am I doing this all for? I'm doing it for the ultimate goal is, my financial goals, my health goals, my spiritual goals. And then I think to myself, well, it's okay. Like life is meant to be an experience, not an experienced with a D. So you're still growing, you're still learning, like relax, go watch some Netflix. And Sundays are me and Rob's day. Like those are the days we shut off. So when I say, oh, I'm having a busy weekend, that starts on Friday. when do weekends start for you, January?
Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, first of all, I love that you said life is an experience. And I love that you're saying that, you know what, I have these goals, but you're not like giving yourself so much pressure to like to do it and to finish it. It's there. And it is, life is meant to be experienced, to experience something. It's so funny. That's actually what I'm learning in my slumber party program. It's talking about experiences, and it's talking about like relationship and connections, and really, I think that's what it all boils down to. And yes, Sundays is mine and Sam's date days. It actually has shifted because our babysitter is now taking care of mom, and so Sam and I have date days sporadically throughout the week, and we go to the gym. So that's kind of our date day, is going to the gym together, which is fun. So oh my goodness, what was your question? Your question was
Exactly. So this is a pure example of what the holidays feel like, where you get brain fog, you stop
yeah.
thinking, you wake up and think, I know there was 20,000 things I was about to do right now, but I have no idea what I'm doing standing here.
Yes, that is exactly it. I have a million gazillion things, but at the end of the day, Helen, the way I look at it is, we're not guaranteed tomorrow. Like tomorrow is not like for sure, and so I think what I've done so far, because I'm going to tell you, okay, this is pure transparency. When things don't go the way that I have set it planned, or like timing wise, because I'm such a time like a stickler on time, and so before I used to get really like riled up because I'm putting that pressure on myself to like get it done, and that's just my nature. It's like I'm like, okay, I got to be here at this time, I got to do this at this time. And it leaks into my children, because my children, they have their own things too, and their own like pace. And anyway, this month I guess last month, November, I learned that I have to just go with a flow, that and that's not my nature. Okay, so my nature is, I really want to like there's structure in my life, right? But I'm realizing that there are times where like I can't be there on time, or I can't whatever. And at this point I'm like, oh well, I don't care, so I'm just kind of in that mind frame, that it's okay. It's okay. It's okay to not be on time. It's okay to not, all these things. And not to say that I'm not trying to be structured, but I'm giving myself grace. I think that's like the main thing that I've learned, is to give ourselves grace, because we may not always finish all the books that we want to read. We may not always complete the goals. Like I just did the Hola Hola challenge. I wanted to do 125 miles by myself, and I tried my hardest. I really did. I made it to 76. So I'm proud of myself for making it to 76. The most that I did was 50. So to make it to 76 is pretty phenomenal. So I'm going to say, you know what? Good job. Good job. Maybe next year you get to 125.
Good job, January.
Thank you. But I've learned a lot. It's through like our conversations, Helen, and it's through just learning from other people as well. So many people have given me value and have shown me like there's beauty in just being, and there's beauty in just allowing the flow. And anyway, that's what I've learned. What have you learned this far? We have so many things to talk about, but what have you learned about this busyness?
Okay, so I have my first book signing tomorrow at the local bookstore, and this will be my first actual in-store book signing for the last 6 years since I've had my book. And I'm so excited about it. I'm putting it out there. Well, it's the holiday season, so there's a lot going on. There's so many activities and events that people can choose from instead of showing up at my book signing. And I understand that. I've actually had a lot of friends reach out and say, I wish I can be there to support you, but I have to work this event, because a lot of the people in my circle are all entrepreneurial women. And I get that, like, business, go for it, make that money, you know? So I just reached back out to them. I'm like, oh my gosh, for the fact that you just said you'd want to be there, that just warms my heart as it is. But then this morning I started freaking out a little bit, and I thought, oh my gosh, what if nobody shows up? What if only 3 people show up? What if this? And I could hear the words of my mom saying, it doesn't matter who shows up. You show up. That's what counts. You show up for yourself. And it's all right. Those who are meant to be there will be there. And wherever you're meant to be is where you're meant to be, because there's sacred contract. And the people that you choose to be around during this special time, with your free time, with all of these holidays, there's a reason why you're meant to be in the presence of that person, whether it's to have a good time, to create memories with, to make business networking with, to even just bring joy to their life if they're going through a hard time and you don't know about it. We don't know, but there's a sacred contract going on in the world that we can't see. So I always try to remind myself of that yes, we're physically living in this external world. And yes, we're also living in this inward world, but there's something we can't forget. There's a spiritual world going on as well. And that always that's the biggest force that we can't see. So I say to myself, yeah, have fun, like, relax, girl, like, show up and sign those books, even if it's just one person, and then go out and celebrate the hell out of it after. And that's what I'm going to do.
Yes, girl. I love it. I love that you're in that mind frame. And I love that you heard your mom say that. That is so powerful, because she's right. Show up. Just show up. Show up for you. This is your first ever book signing. That is huge. So whether it's one person or 0, okay, whether it's one person or 0, you have a book signing event just for you. That's freaking awesome.
Well, that whole wisdom part right there, whether it's one person or just you, that just show up is so profound to all of us. You know, you're going to go to the race and run, just you're showing up for yourself and for the people around you. Because when you show up, this is the way I feel like, when you show up, because January, you're so powerful and you're such a strong, like, positive being, that you exude that positivity around you. Like, it's like you're a little Care Bear, and you just walk in and you're just like, Care Bear stare, and then boom, here goes all your power to, like, everybody around you. I know this, everybody, because I met January. When she showed up in my bachelorette party, she was Care Bear stare. And and your positivity and good energy just went out to everybody, and everybody around you that you touched, they had positivity energy, because you had it, and then they had it, and then you had it. It was just like filling the air, and I could see it when I was like, where's January? And you were like, way over there. I could see that Care Bear stare way out there, you know.
Did you know that Care Bears are my favorite?
No, I did not know that. That's funny.
I did. When I was a kid, Care Bears and strawberry shortcake were my favorite. So that's hilarious.
Oh my God. I'm going to have to send you the Care Bear that I got specifically made for Nothing Sexier Than Freedom. I had a Care Bear made for myself.
No.
I love Care Bears too. Whoa.
No. Oh my gosh. See, this is why we have so much in common. It's amazing, because you're a Care Bear as well. I love it. I think, like, the whole tribe, your tribe of friends, which is now my tribe, because I like inserting myself in there, we're all Care Bears. And it's so beautiful. I just love the team. And I'm excited about your cruise, because I feel like our Care Bear stairs, I can see us like holding hands together and be like, whoosh, and like all this positivity, rainbows and sparkles just like flying all over the place.
I definitely feel like we're going to dominate the cruise. And for all of our audience, if you've been following, I'm engaged and I'm going to be married in 4 months on a cruise ship. So we're all going. It's going to be just wild.
Gosh, yeah. But so going back to our topic about busyness and how are we handling all this busyness, because Helen and I are powerhouses. Helen is just this phenomenal, I'm going to do it, whatever the fuck it takes, I'm going to do it. And she does it, she does it with such empowerment in her, and just the ability She just does it. She shows up, and hence why she's going to do her book signing. Please go and visit her tomorrow. Ask her to sign your book. So I'm excited for her for tomorrow. But yeah, so we're entrepreneurs and we just do the damn thing because we have goals. But I think as an entrepreneur, we can be constantly 24 hours a day thinking about things. And I constantly think about things. We actually have to tell our brains to like be quiet. We have to shut it down. There are certain things that I take. So I do take this ashwagandha and CBD gummy. Helen is saying that she does too. And I'm like,
I take ashwagandha every day. In fact, this morning I
Same.
put a little bit more in my coffee. I was just like, just a little bit more, just a little bit more.
yeah, see, yes.
Can you share the benefits of ashwagandha for those of people that don't know? Like, how has it benefited you? Just a quick.
So ashwagandha is a root and it's meant to like calm and give peace. And just basically like calm our nerves. And so that's basically what it's done for me. And it's allowed me to have good sleep. So that's actually what I use ashwagandha for. And I do use it every day, actually. So I do use it every day. And maybe that's also why I'm how I am the way I am. There's several different factors, but ashwagandha is one of them. Meditating is one of them. Always good to take a pause, even just for 1 minute. And then of course, music. So those are the three things that I use to just kind of center and prayer. Prayer for me is really vital. I believe in fasting. I believe in prayer. I believe that, that is what causes me to think outside of just my physical self, but really looking to the spiritual, like you were saying earlier, Helen, everything is aligned, your mind, your body, and your soul. And you need to cultivate all of those things in the midst of all the busyness and the holidays. Those are the things that, we should really take care of and be mindful of on a daily, not just like once a week, but we actually have to think about it daily. So can you give us some tips, Helen, like how you are able to maintain your focus and maintain the center of Helen with all of the stuff that's going around you?
I always just tell myself, just do one thing, even if it's the steps forward that's going to compound. We've talked about compound interest before. It's the step forward that's going to compound over time and get you to the goal eventually, whether it's a month from now, a week from now, 2 days from now, or years from now. And I just always have that in the back of my mind. Do something. I mean, there was a day last week where I just wanted to stay all day in my robe, all day. And I wanted to just Netflix and chill. And I have that opportunity in my own life. I've created my life to where I can do that. I can say, you know what? I don't want to do anything today. But then while I'm watching Netflix, my mind is going, like you said, you're thinking about stuff all the time. And I said, you know what? I'm wasting my time watching Netflix right now when my brain is clearly telling me it's ready to dive in and do something. So I walk over to my office and I said, okay, what am I going to do? And that's when I started taking, Dr. Gretchen's course. And I said, okay, that's something. Because when I say do something that gets you towards your goals, it can be something that helps your mentality. It can help your spiritual walk. It can help your physical walk. And same thing with working out. Working out is my mental health. I've told this numerous times over and over. For me, if I've having a rough day and my body doesn't want to do it, it's fighting me, I'll say, okay, just give me 10 squats. If 10 squats are all you do all day, you did it. And so I just tell myself one small thing will make the biggest difference. What do you do, January?
Oh my gosh. Okay, so I have a story. During the Hola Hola challenge, there were several days that I did not want to go run. I did not want to walk. I just, like I love Netflixing and chilling. I love to be able to do that. But the only time I really am able to do that is Sunday. But what I told myself was just run a mile or walk a mile, just get the miles done. And I did it. So, the first step, if you read Atomic Habits, is actually getting your, workout gear together. So the moment that you put that on, it's like, okay, that's the first step. check, I did that, right? Because that is a mental thing. Because I, like you, I love being in my jammies. My jammies and my robe are probably the most like favorite things for me to wear. If I could do it every day and just like have meetings in that, that'd be awesome. So put on your workout clothes. And then the next thing that I told myself was just do a mile. And I think a mile to me is not so bad. And then I ended up doing 4. So I'm proud of myself. I got there, I did it, and I did 4. So yeah, I think just like what Helen was saying, just do that one thing, even if it's something small. Small, it may be small to you, but in the long run, as Helen was talking about, was compound interest. That 1% change, that 1% thing that you do for yourself is going to compound into something greater much later down the line. And we may not know it now, but we'll find out like 5-10 years from now.
Yeah. And I want to add also that this overwhelming feeling of like feeling you have to be there for everybody else during the holidays and then also be there for yourself, because as entrepreneurs we can feel torn, because entrepreneurs want to work 24/7. If they could, we would. So I always think to myself, okay, there does come a point when your ego's, you can tell when the ego is just trying to cause havoc in your life, because you're all about me, 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 me. I feel like this, I that, I this. And I said to myself, okay, I see what's going on here. I'm on to you, ego. Maybe we clear out today. Maybe it's something that you need to do. So I get a bag and I start going through my stuff and I just grab things and I put in the bag and I'm like, this is going to somebody who needs it because I clearly don't need it. Or write letters or buy somebody a gift. Stop thinking so much of me, 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 I, because you're overloading. You're on overdrive right now. This isn't the way it should be. Like there's no given receive. Where's the flow? So that's something also I can suggest to everybody out there. If you are feeling overwhelmed, and even if it's overwhelming to giving your energy to other people, that can also be your ego. Because when you give to other people, it should feel really good. And if it doesn't feel really good, that may be a sign it's coming more from an egoic place instead of a more spiritual, loving place.
Ooh, that's a good tip. What you just reminded me of is inspired work. So one of the things that I learned from Tasha Chen was when you are not feeling inspired, especially for entrepreneurs, there's definitely an energy that surrounds us. And if that energy is not there, then don't do the work, because it doesn't feel good, right? Just kind of what you were saying, like if you're giving and it's like not, doesn't feel like it's from the heart, but it's from like ego, then don't do it, because your body knows, your energy inside, your internal side your heart knows. And when she mentioned inspired work, it's kind of like when you were watching TV, Helen, and you were like, yeah, I just want to Netflix and chill. And you're like, no, I got to do something. And then you did Dr. Gretchen's course. That was inspired work, because you're like, yeah, I'm going to do something, and that's how I operate when I'm not feeling like a lot of what we do as financial strategists is talking to clients. So we talk to clients, we create these, illustrations for them, and we show them, how we can help them with their retirement and or debt or estate planning or whatever. There's a lot of different various things that we do, business solutions. And a lot of it tends to talk, we tend to talk to the client. And there are moments where I'm like, I don't want to talk to anybody. I don't have the energy to talk to anybody because whatever, is going on. And so I shift. So then I shift to something else that is still helping my business, whether it be learning about marketing or reading a book or even just being just for me. Because at the end of the day, as entrepreneurs, we're our own bosses. We're the facilitator, the leader of our company. And so we actually have to be mindful of ourselves. So, in the season of all this hustle and bustle about the holidays and giving, to others, give to yourself. It's like this beautiful exchange between the two. You have to give to yourself in order to give to others. Okay. So, That's kind of my mantra is, take care of me. Because if my tank is not full and it's empty because I'm overwhelming myself, it's hard for me to give to others. So always have your tank full. Affirmations, yoga, meditation, workout, eat right, all these amazing things that you probably already know to do. Don't forget to drink water. Just
Yeah.
fill yourself, fill yourself so then you can give to others.
Yeah. Or just find some time to be by yourself with no phone, no radio, no nothing, no people. Just be by yourself and take a couple deep breaths and listen to whatever it is. Be the silent witness to whatever's around you or whatever you can hear within your head. Like, don't judge, don't try to change, don't maneuver or manipulate what anything's going on, and just be there. And honestly, those moments are some of the ones that trip me out the most, because I realize, whoa, what a wild world I'm in. Like, this is so fascinating. And it's just little moments like that where I'm just like, all right, I'm ready to go have fun. I'm ready to play the game. I'm ready to get my controllers and say, let's go, Avatar. We're gonna do our best today, no matter what obstacles are being thrown at us. Yeah.
Ooh. Another thing that came to mind is guilt. I think a lot of us use that or have that, and we put it upon ourselves. Guilty for not doing enough for others, guilty for not sending that Christmas card, guilty for not buying that Christmas gift, and we put all this guilt and shame upon ourselves. And a lot of it is an internal discussion that we're having with ourselves, and as women, I know for me, that's something that I've been working on, is not putting the guilt, and actually really just saying, just have fun, just like what Helen was saying, just have fun. If you do it, awesome. If you don't do it, it's okay. And I think that's the one thing I do want our listeners, I want to know what our listeners have to say. What do you have to say about all this busyness, especially if you're a mom and you have all, kids that you have to take care of as well? I'm talking about little kids, right? Because obviously if you have older kids, they're adults already. But that's another question. But those with young children who are working moms as well, or entrepreneurs, how do you handle the stress of the holidays and keeping yourself afloat? And those that are empty nesters, because I know some of you, those of you who are empty nesters, what do you do to stay grounded in the midst of all the hustle and bustle of the holidays? I would love to message or post on whatever platforms these are, so that we can hear your thoughts.
Awesome. And on that note, let's go ahead and wrap this up so we can get back to our wild and fun day and weekend. January, where can they find you?
You can find me at januaryliddell.com or LinkedIn, January Liddell, Facebook, VIP Finance Builders, as well as Instagram, VIP Finance Builders. That's pretty much where you can find me. Where can we find you, Helen?
All right. Well, thank you everybody for listening. You can find me on Hell of a Journey on Instagram, Hell of a Journey, the number 1 on TikTok, and Facebook, Sexy Freedom Media. That's our Facebook page for our podcast. And click the link in the show notes. Please share this with your friends, and we'd love to hear your reviews. And as always, you can go get your copy of my book, Nothing Sexier Than Freedom. That's available on Amazon and Audible. Thank you, everybody. And we hope that you tune in and share this podcast with your friends. Ahia.
Aloha.
Want to hear more?
Visit us at sexyfreedommedia.com.